this is all said out of love. Let's be clear. This is a rant about a game that I'm not going to say love. I'm English. I don't have that kind of emotional capacity within me, but I rather enjoy. I would say that I have a little bit of a passion for it. I've been doing regular content for it for a year and a half. You could say I'm a bit into it. So everything I say comes from a place of love. Not love, passion, enjoyment. For Games Workshop to come out and just say, no, you can't use this. It's like, I genuinely. Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here. Now I'm going to warn you, today's going to be a little bit of a rant. I can already feel that coming on. Also, this news isn't news. This was told to us when we got our FAQ, like 2 months ago. But they've printed it into White Dwarf, so it's not just on Warhammer Community. And I thought, I don't know, I wanted to talk about it. You know, there's been a bit more time since it was posted in Warhammer Community. We've already had the effect of what they said kind of enforced into the community. And I don't know, I've thought about it a bit more. I just wanted to have a bit of a shout, bit of a rant. Okay, so White Dwarf, they printed out what... Now, obviously, this is a competitive channel, so I focus on that a lot. And one of the reasons for that is that in my Discord, everyone, you know, we just want to play the game correctly, the way GW wants it to be played. And that's kind of the core of the butthurt that I'm about to unleash upon you here. If you don't care, if you're happy to house rule, you can skip this video. I'm not going to say anything interesting. As I've played more and more tournaments, and I've played different mission packs, both those created by the community and the Annihilation pack from GW itself, you know, I've formed many opinions, and one of the ones that I've kind of formed is... Okay, you know, like, in general, the game's pretty well balanced, right? And the rules are pretty good. Yeah, there are issues. Of course there are. There are always issues. But everything that me and my Discord talk about is we're getting into minutiae. You know, we are like, look, we want to play it the correct way. There is only one way to play, and we want to know how to play it. We want to know the way that Games Workshop wants the game to be played. Because if we didn't, the Discord wouldn't be a thing. We wouldn't play tournaments. It would just be like, yeah, hey, this is cool, this is fun. And that's why we need to talk about what Games Workshop considers competitive play over here. So, firstly, everything that Games Workshop has released is acceptable for open play, narrative play, and match play. So I'm not even going to talk about that, right? Who cares? It's all good. Go for it. Now, do we need to define what competitive means now? Okay, so what can you use in competitive play? The core rules, the faction rules, data sheets, and tactics. Faction rules from the supplements. From Rogue Trader, the team's there. Everything from Kill Team Elites, unless it has anything to do with commanders, or the missions. You can't use the missions there. And then you can use everything from Arena, including... It's interesting that it specifically calls out ultra close confines rules. But that's fine, that's cool. And that's it. So firstly, there's a bunch of stuff there you cannot get anymore. That's weird. Like, anyway, let's define what competitive is, because we've got to do that before I can actually have a go at them. Games Workshop, for all the great that it has done over the past few years, and apparently its great has done wonders for its stock price. Oh my god, I wish I owned some, but I don't, because I'm poor. For everything they've done, and they have moved into the competitive space, especially with Warhammer Underworlds, they are trying to make the games a little bit more balanced, a little bit more competitive. Except, balanced and competitive are not the same thing. However, Games Workshop isn't saying this is for balanced play. They're saying this is for competitive play. Games Workshop is trying to restrict what the community does in the competitive scene. Now that's fine. That's not an issue. We don't have an issue yet. As I said earlier, Kill Team, in my opinion, is, apart from a few notable exceptions, a relatively balanced game. Yeah, some of it's ridiculous, but in general, I think they actually did a pretty good job. Balanced is not competitive. So, what is the difference between balanced and competitive? A balanced game is not necessarily a competitive game. You would hope that a competitive game is balanced, but it doesn't have to be. They are not synonyms. For something to be competitive, there must be some way to measure your skill. Okay? We as a community are doing this by running tournaments. Games Workshop is dictating how the game can be played competitively, but are not supporting it in any way, shape or form in a competitive manner. Yes, they are still supporting the game, not competitively. Games Workshop is not running any sort of tournament league. They do not have an online ranking system. They don't talk about Kill Team in a competitive sense at all. So why do they have the right to tell us what's competitive? No, what they mean is, hey, we balanced the game around this, but then we also released a bunch of shit that we didn't test. Like, we just threw it out there and we thought, fuck it. Who cares if it's balanced? We're models first. We don't care about rules. I mean, hey, we make you spend more money on our rules than any other company in miniatures gaming, but we're not about rules. It's bullshit. And the reason I need to bring this up now is because on my Discord, a bunch of people are talking about new ways to make missions, new ways to include commanders in games, of competitive games. And then Games Workshop just comes along and just blatantly outright says, no, commanders are not for competitive play. We did not balance them. We did not put the effort and the work and the time into something that you gave us money for. Fuck you. Right? And it's like, okay, fine. Like, I accept that they gave us an unbalanced product. Cool. But let us balance it. Don't come out and say, oh no, you can't use it. Because that's just telling us what we can and can't do while not supporting the game yourself. If they supported the game, if Games Workshop had a tournament track, I'd be all for it. I would praise this article and say, oh wow, this is really good. Thank you very much, Games Workshop. Now I know what I should and should not be practicing with. But that's not how any of this works. So anyway, what I'm saying is, ignore this article in White Dwarf. It's meaningless. Now, do I think that commanders are in any way, shape or form balanced? No, I don't. I think they're super broken. But that's not the point. The point is, that's for the community to decide. Games Workshop really shouldn't be telling us how to play competitive when they refuse to support it. Again, this is all said out of love. Let's be clear. This is a rant about a game that I'm not going to say love. I'm English. I don't have that kind of emotional capacity within me, but I rather enjoy. I would say that I have a little bit of a passion for it. I've been doing regular content for it for 1.5 years. You could say I'm a bit into it. So everything I say comes from a place of love, not love. Passion, enjoyment. for Games Workshop to come out and just say, no, you can't use this. It's like, I genuinely am annoyed at their presumption that they know what makes this game good. Because they clearly don't. Because if they did, they would be making so much more money out of the Kill Team community. Guys, I would spend so much more money if they just have to charge crazy ticket prices to play Kill Team in a competitive environment. I'd pay it. That sounds awesome. I want to go to a Games Workshop run tournament that at some point, after several ladder stages, and then there's a final and a semi-final final, and Games Workshop will put up, an article on their Warhammer community site saying, we've just completed this season of Kill Team. These were the top players. These were the top factions. They did an amazing job. Here's some pictures from the event. And hey, don't forget, you want to buy this top player's roster? This is the roster. Here's all the links to go and buy his team. I'd click that link so fast. I mean, then I'd make a video to critique the list. But that's me. Ignore that. But for Games Workshop to come out and just say, oh, you can't use commanders, fuck off, Games Workshop. Support your game, know what your community wants, or get the fuck out of here, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, this has been a little rant. This probably isn't the best video to mention it, but I have a Patreon now. If you want to support me being angry at a company that makes a game that I enjoy, I don't know, drop me $1, I guess. Also join my Discord, because that's a thing. I don't know why. Anyway, what do you think? Am I being needlessly upset about this? Should we be listening to GW? Do I have this wrong? Should we just be listening to Games Workshop and saying, Games Workshop says this, and this is competitive, this, and this is not? Should we just be like, okay, cool, and try our best to focus on what Games Workshop says? So, 100 points, no commanders, missions from the arena rulebook. Is that it? Is that Kill Team? Is that competitive Kill Team? Is that all we want as competitive Kill Team players? It's not all I want. But you let me know. What should we as a community be trying to figure out ways to play outside of how Games Workshop says we should be playing? Be really interested to know. Maybe I'm just too in a particular vibe, a particular scene within the Kill Team community, and I'm in an echo chamber and I can't see outside of it. And actually I should just chill out and it's all good. Let me know. Anyway, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a good day. Hope you continue to have a good day. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.